We got a pipe bomb of a promo to open Raw, and we got a bombshell of a title change to finish Raw. But unfortunately, every single thing in between was forgettable. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling here for your WWE Raw review for the 3rd of March 2025. The first Raw after the Elimination Chamber, the first Raw after the John Cena heel turn, and surprise, surprise, where was John Cena? Well, as Big Match John once said, and probably still will say to this day, you can't see me. And guess what? We couldn't see him. He wasn't there. He's not going to be there. He wasn't on Raw. He won't be on SmackDown. He will not be on next week's Raw. He won't be on next week's SmackDown. At best, we're going to get Cena 2 weeks from now on Monday Night Raw. I believe that will be the 17th of March. He is scheduled for that show, so hopefully he turns up. The only problem I've got is, like, you need to capitalise on that. You can't have these big, massive moments and then have 2 weeks off. And I get it. They're going to show the package. They're going to show the replay. They're going to have Cody Rhodes address it on Saturday. They had CM Punk, name The Rock and John Cena tonight. Look, CM Punk cut a really good rant, I think. Cut a really good one of his pipe bomb promos, if you want to call it that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, he's almost having to talk about The Rock and talk about John Cena because they're not there. It's almost like CM Punk has to try and somehow, continue. He has to try and evolve that story into something a little bit more because you've not got The Rock and Cena there to do it themselves. You don't even have Cody Rhodes there to do it himself. So you had CM Punk come out and, obviously bashing Rock and Cena, which was good, and I enjoyed it. But, I mean, it's a bit lame. We just need John Cena. That turn, not there. I just don't get it. Hogan, he turned. Then you see him with the NWO. You see him with Hall and Nash. McMahon, Austin, WrestleMania 17, shaking hands. Next night on Raw, you've got McMahon and Austin there. You've got The Rock there. And then they form the two-man power trip with Triple H. You had that. You just cannot have this massive turn and then do this. It's fucking dumb. Even if we compare it to turns that, have happened recently that weren't big, okay? Like, for example, let's look at Seth Rollins. And I can't really remember, but look at Seth Rollins turning his back on the Shield. I bet you the very next Raw, Seth Rollins was there to address that, and he was lining up with the Authority. I bet you they didn't take 3 weeks off without mentioning it and just showing replays. Can't really remember because for me it wasn't that big, but I'd be willing to bet that the next week they followed up with, the heel turn, and we ain't going to get that for John because he's not there. He's in Africa, which fucking sucks. Why can't he? I just don't get it. Why couldn't he stick around? Oh, he's got movies. Why couldn't John Cena have stuck around for 2 days? I mean, I get it. Movies cost a lot of money, takes a lot of time, but surely John could have took 2 days off. I don't expect them to fly from Toronto to Africa back to wherever they were tonight in America. I don't expect them to do that Saturday to Monday. But, I mean, he could have did the opening promo on Raw, and then as soon as he done that, left to go to Africa. He could have done that, but it's just not that important. They think that it doesn't matter. We don't need John Cena because we've got Ivy Nile versus Lyra Valkyria. I mean, how can they think that shit? How can they think it doesn't matter that we've not got John because we've got Lyra Valkyria? We've got the War Raiders. I mean, how can you be that retarded? How can you think that not having John Cena is okay because you've got all these other people on the roster? The fact is, all the other people on the roster fucking suck. Doesn't matter who you've got. Who you've not got is John Cena. Who you've not got is the guy that matters, the guy that turned heel. So, I mean, what does it really, it's dumb. It's very, very, very dumb. But we kick off the show with CM Punk comes out. He said he's going to get us cancelled off Netflix. He's got a State of the Union address here. He says we're deep into the road to WrestleMania. Starts with The Rock. Says, listen up, Dwayne, you bald fraud. You think you're immune from criticism just because you're on the board of directors? Well, you don't know me because I'm CM Punk and I'm the best in the world. Calls Rock Mr. Midlife Crisis. And he says, you come back because just you feel like you're a bigger star than anybody else and you think you can get away with anything and you think you can insert yourself into any position just because you believe that you're bigger than everyone else. You come out and you hit your arm and you pretend to care about this business that gives you fake goosebumps. And I fucking hate that from The Rock, by the way, when he comes out tapping his arm like an absolute reed. Oh, look at the goosebumps as if that's some good television. Fuck no. Did you get Walter White Did Walter White ever turn up for a meeting? Walter White goes to discuss this, record-breaking deal with Gus Fring to move the blue stuff, and Gus Fring walks into the same arena, and all of a sudden Walter White just lifts up his jacket, his jacket sleeve and his shirt sleeve, and he starts tapping his arm to show off, oh, look at the goosebumps I've got, we're about to make a deal that's going to make me $5 million. No, you think, it's dumb. You don't fucking do that. That's shite. That's absolute shite. That's low-hanging fruit. That's you trying to convince people that this is good when it's not good, okay? You coming out and just tapping, I mean, maybe if it's Trish Stratus in her prime and she's coming out and she's fucking squeezing her boobs or something like that, maybe that's a bit more interesting, but they're all coming out and tapping his wrist. That does nothing for me, man. That ain't doing shit for me. So yeah, I'm glad Punk called that out. Then he said, I've never been so delusional. I've never been so desperate to wear a fake title like The Rock does. The Rock carries on a fake championship like a fucking jabron. You seen The Rock with that fake title that he got last year at Mania? He came out and he stands in the ring with Cody Rhodes, and The Rock's got this title that he didn't earn, a title that doesn't mean shit, and then you've got Cody Rhodes with the championship, and The Rock's pretending that both these titles have like the same value. Fucking loser. And then Punk said, I've never called myself the People's Champ because, unlike you, I earn everything I've got, and you sold your soul, Dwayne. And speaking of selling your soul, he moves on to John Cena. He says, you can't see me, how about we can see straight through you? Hustle, loyalty, respect, bullshit. CM Punk claims that he said it all along, that John Cena was a fake, that John Cena was a phony. And he has said this. When you look back at the summer of Punk, when you look back at when Punk was first getting into the main event scene, he was calling Cena out on all of this. Then he talks about Cena doing the whole Make-A-Wish thing. He said it's a fraud. Cena doesn't care about kids. Never give up. CM Punk says he's the one that's never gave up, but he says John Cena gave up on himself when he teamed up with The Rock, when he sold his soul to The Rock. Then he says, I'm going to get my hands on both of you bald frauds, and when I do, you're going to make a wish that I never did. So I thought that was really good. Playing into the whole Make-A-Wish thing, and then he says that Cena and The Rock are going to make a wish. To me, that was great. He then talked about Seth Rollins, and he says that Becky Lynch better come and get her man before he does, or else Seth's going to end up in a wheelchair. Then we've got Becky Lynch. She actually put out a tweet later that night saying that AJ Lee needs to come and get her man. Then she posted a picture of Roxanne Perez and CM Punk supposedly wearing like matching gear at the Chamber. To me, that's a bit dumb. It's like, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, they've been portrayed as husband and wife on screen. CM Punk and Roxanne Perez, they've had maybe 2 interactions on screen. It's not like you constantly see them together for her to pluck this out her ass, but I mean, that's just constant breaking kayfabe. We see it all the time. People have to go into real life shit, and if I was AJ, I would be concerned, seriously. CM Punk, he wasn't called a chick magnet for nothing back in the day. He has banged a lot of women in wrestling. And I think it's weird, man. I don't know if... I'm pretty sure CM Punk is referred to Roxanne and Cora Jade as his daughters. I know everybody else does. And for me, I just find it extremely weird because you've got 2 young women in their early 20s, and you cannot tell me that CM Punk wouldn't bang them both if the opportunity was there. If it somehow arised, if Punk went, I don't know, if Punk went home onto his boss or whatever he does, I know he's straight edge, so he doesn't drink. If Punk, I don't know, went to McDonald's and bought a 7-Up, and Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez tried to, take Punk into the bathroom for a threesome, you tell me Punk's going to push them away and be like, no, I see you guys as daughters. I don't do that shit. No, of course not. Punk's... I always found it a bit weird that Punk's hanging around these two. So, and the fact that they kind of do look a bit like AJ, especially Cora Jade. I think AJ was her biggest fan, or she was AJ's biggest fan growing up. It's a bit fucking weird. Just like when CM Punk was dating Lita, and AJ Lee was AJ Lee's role model, and then CM Punk left Lita. He cheated on Lita with AJ Lee. Now he's hanging around Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez, and their idol is AJ Lee. So, and Punk's obviously wife material to her. So, I don't know, husband material, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised. It's fucking weird. But what we got after this was a brawl, and it was just crap. We've seen it all before. People are marking it. Diamond Dallas Page says one of the best brawls I've ever seen. Look, if it was a one-off thing, it wouldn't be that bad. But my problem with this is we see it every single week. You get the security every single week. You get the security, you get the referees, then you get Adam Pearce, and it's just crap. I'm not even joking when I say they do this at least once a show. Like, they overdo it. They over-fucking do it. And then when it's supposed to mean something, it means nothing because we see it every single week. So, look, I thought the promo for Punk was great. But the brawl, the pull apart that we've seen afterwards, seen it a million times, and that's unfortunate because honestly, I do think it. I don't know. Did it take away from Punk's promo? Probably not, but it took away from the opening segment. I think that what should have happened is I believe that Seth Rollins should have came out, and we should have seen Punk. Maybe he went straight up the ramp towards Rollins, but instead of Rollins meeting him, I think we should have had Rollins either run off to the back or for Rollins to have his own security and the security just stand in between Punk and Rollins and Punk can't get to him. Something like that. But what we get is you can't have either guy back down because there's no heels in wrestling anymore. So you can't have one guy acting cowardly. You see how pathetic this is because you can't have Seth Rollins do that because that would make him the heel and there is supposedly no heels in this feud, so you just have to have them brawl, or else one guy's going to come out looking like a bitch. So it's just they paint themselves into, or they back themselves into a corner, and I mean that's what they've done here. Seth Rollins could have ran away. Seth Rollins could have had his own personal security. Seth Rollins could have done anything. He could have showed up on the screen. He didn't need to come out in person, but because they want both of these guys to be seen as, we're the face, or I've got a legitimate gripe with you, you've got a legitimate gripe with me. No one's a bad guy here. It means we're kind of bad guy antics, and that for me that sucks, man. That really does suck. But whatever. Because look, even it doesn't matter how big you are or whatnot. Even like the biggest wrestlers. I mean, you've had Taker. Now, I'm not saying Taker was a straight up coward, but we did see Taker when he was a heel at times. He would back away. He would try to not engage in people. Like when he was going through when he was like Biker Taker and he had that run as hardcore champ and he was undisputed champ. Yes, he was not afraid of people, but, when it was like, I remember him feuding with Triple H, he was like, he wouldn't want to meet Triple H head on, whereas he would meet someone like Maven head on, if you know what I mean. So he would pick and choose what battles he would get into, but with wrestling now, you just don't get that because there is no heels and faces, man. It's all shite. Anyway, we get a Gunther promo. Don't give a shit what he's saying, man. I was tuning out. All I know is it fucking sucked. We got Gunther then versus Otis. Gunther beats him. What did we get next? We got UFC Hall of Famers in the arena. Good for him. Kathy Kelly's backstage with AJ Styles. He said he cannot believe that Cena sold his soul. AJ then gets hugged from behind by Karrion Kross. Just lost interest when I seen Karrion Kross. They both had similar hair, but that's about it. Lyra Valkyria versus Ivy Nile, Women's Championship Intercontinental title. Lyra Valkyria wins, not surprised in the slightest. We then had Jackie Redmond getting a backstage interview with Seth Rollins. Adam Pearce books a steel cage match between Punk and Seth for next week, so I guess that could be pretty good. We then got Bianca Belair. She was asked about Jade Cargill and Naomi. She said she didn't want to say anything. To me, this is lame because we've seen at Elimination Chamber. You had Bianca Belair crying her eyes out, hysterical, some of the fakest and phony and cringiest acting you've ever seen. But tonight she wasn't even bothered by it. She's coming out and swinging her ponytail for 5 minutes during her entrance. Like obviously she didn't care. She wasn't upset. Look at the difference. Look, Punk. Look what happened to Punk at Chamber, and then he comes out tonight pissed the fuck off. Look what happened to Bianca Belair. Now, people say, well, she won, but yeah, I mean, look at her in the Chamber. She was distraught, but she came out tonight like nothing happened. It's dumb. Right, Ludwig Kaiser. We got a Chad Gable vignette, by the way, where it looks like he bought a mask. Maybe the guy he's going to, I don't know, is it just a mask he's getting? Like, they said he's going to learn from a luchador. What if it was Rey Fenix? What if it's Penta's brother? Not that I give a shit, but they could have done that, but I don't think they will do that because they want Penta and Rey Fenix to be together. A tag team. Tag team division don't mean shit, buddy. Right, Ludwig Kaiser and Penta have a segment. Penta comes down, jumps at the top rope to the outside, then does the whole, oh no, Mira, meh, shite, don't care, move on. Third match, War Raiders versus American Made World Tag Team Championships. American Made lost, not surprised, just a bunch of, Nah, I want this. I want this video to be monetized, so I won't say what I'll hold back a little bit. But what I will say is the tag team division's just it is shit. It is shit. I mean, I could bash American Made, and I could bash the War Raiders, and I could bash everybody on SmackDown. I mean, I look at the tag team divisions right now. I think the only, I don't know if I'm missing anybody, but I think the only two teams worth a damn across all the brands are any pairing of the Judgment Day and the New Day. And that's not me saying that they're good. I just think they're the only two teams that are worth a damn. Everything else, garbage. Everything else, just, not worth it. By the way, Jey Uso did come out and attack Gunther, and then he got attacked by A-Town Down, and then Gunther beat up Jey. Who cares? Who cares? Like, Braun Breaker did a bit of rhyming here, talked about Judgment Day, made fun of them. Balor came down. Balor and Braun Breaker got in a bit of a battle. Braun Breaker lifted up Finn Balor, chucked him on top of Carlito, hit a spear on Carlito, is what it is, whatever. Who cares? We then had Kathy Kelly do a backstage promo with Jey Uso. Jey Uso, I think what we're beginning to see is here that Jey Uso, he's just not a good, well, not that we're beginning, we probably already knew this, but he's not a good promo guy. He's not. He just chucks out yeet. He tries to get energetic, he tries to get loud, but there's no substance in what he says. He ain't got nothing, and it is concerning. I think that Jey Uso versus Gunther might just be the worst World Championship match at WrestleMania. Now, a lot of people say here, there was a lot of bad championship matches during the SmackDown period, and when SmackDown had their world title and it felt like a jabroni belt, but for me, Jey Uso Gunther, I think that is the worst world title feud going in to WrestleMania in the history of this company. Then we got the fourth match, Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the WWE Women's Championship. Bianca Belair came out, she was on commentary. The match was alright, but it was pretty botchy. I mean, it was botchy, and I think that Rhea Ripley's an overrated in-ring performer. I like Io Sky, I do. In terms of a character, I mean, I don't think she's got much, but she is, aerial-wise, she is, I guess, a little bit unique because you don't really see women go to the top rope, or you don't really see women pull off springboard maneuvers as much, and I guess she is the genius of the Sky with the mighty thighs. I mean, I guess the thighs. I would fucking fly to the Sky just to get wrapped around Io Sky's thighs. But anyway, I'm glad that she won. I said that she would win the Royal Rumble and go on to WrestleMania. Now, my co-host, Big Stevie Cool, said, not a chance. Why are you predicting her? She's a jabroni. She's just another Japanese person that can't talk. And I went, Io Sky's actually, I think Io Sky's decent in the ring. I think Io Sky's going to Mania. Now, I didn't get it right for the Royal Rumble, but it looks like I got it right for your Raw. Now, I wasn't expecting this, obviously, but I'm not going to complain. Because anytime that Marilyn Manson, fucking steroid freak Rhea Ripley loses, it's a good day for Fog Wrestling. It's a good day for wrestling, because she sucks, man. She's so overrated. She's so overhyped. She's so overpushed by Triple H, just because he gets a hard-on, because she reminds him of China. That's essentially what it is. Rhea Ripley takes her eye off the ball, argues with Bianca, lots of pushing on the outside. Could have been a DQ. Ref didn't give it. Then Io hits the top rope, Hurricane Rana, hits the moonsault, wins, celebrates with the belt, and Rhea Ripley is just, on the outside, screaming and shit. So, aye. Is what it is, guys. That was your Monday Night Raw. Look, really good opening promo for Punk. But I can't say that the show deserves a 10 out of 10 because of that. I thought the main event was decent. So overall, other than that though, I mean, it sucked. Everything else sucked. So what can I do? I'll give it a 3 out of 10. I will give Raw a 3 out of 10. I thought that the opening and I thought that the main event were good enough. Especially the opening, it was really good with Punk. But the rest kind of just sucked, guys. So yeah, that's my rating. That's my review. That's my opinion. You guys can let me know what you think down below. And I'll catch you in the next one. Been Fog Wrestling. Thanks for watching, and peace.